this is World of Horror. This is a still kind of beta game that they put out on Steam that is, I've heard it described as a Junji Ito style game. I believe Pi was able to confirm that it is very Junji Ito-ish. It's also kind of Lovecraftian at the same time. Really, the best way to describe it is just to experience it, so we're just gonna go ahead and dive right in here. There are a lot of different layouts that you can do, like different colors and things like that. I stick with this color palette in 2-bit because it looks the best to me. So, this is what was in the demo. It is one of the missions you can get. It's basically the tutorial. I don't need the tutorial, so we're gonna go to customize the playthrough. That takes us to this man. You see, I've got 2 of the boxes unlocked. I have not completely played this game yet, but I have done quite a bit on it. This is your random seed. You can just set it to whatever you want. This will determine what missions you get and things like that. So we're just gonna go with this for the random seed. City of Shinokawa, Japan, 1980X. Something strange is happening in our town. Road figures can be seen gathering in the woods at night. People are going missing. Disgusting creatures are terrorizing the seaside. The rapid technological progress of the modern era brings comfort, but also new, unknown threats. Is the volume okay? It sounds kind of quiet to me. Oh, old gods, malicious eldritch beings who ruled the earth eons ago are awakening as reality starts to crumble. Armed with clues, spells, and your dwindling sanity, you'll investigate mysteries across the city, and in realms beyond. An old train slows down and stops at the last station. The end of the world is at hand, and you've finally arrived in the doomed town. And now we get to pick our character. We start off with Kiri Minami, Eiko Takahashi, just Haru, Mizuki Hamasaki, and Kouji Tagawa. And you can unlock Mimi, and one other character I have not yet unlocked. Aiko, yes, thank you. You also have, currently there are 6 backstories. You can see that these are not put in yet because they look different. There is World of Horror, which doesn't have any extra effect, it's just the basic one you start with. There's Medical History, which starts you with a bandage item, but any damage you take can cause an injury, and injuries are things that will persist between missions and can very quickly add up into problems. There's Hunted by the Cult, where solving mysteries reduces more doom, but you get more combat encounters because the cult is trying to kill you. And there's the newest one I have unlocked, which is the 7th Curse. You start the playthrough with more funds, but you can't actually recruit anybody. So I will let you guys pick. What background should we do and what character should we do? I'm going to stick with Initiate difficulty, because I'm still not very good at this game. So I don't really feel confident going up a level. Also note that every character has their own benefits and drawbacks. Like Kiri here starts with extra knowledge but less strength, and she gets a random spell. Spells are... Spells are kind of hit and miss. They take a lot of, they can take Reason, which is basically your sanity, or Stamina, which is your health to cast, or worse. Also, Hunted by the Cult just means that we drop our doom more when we finish a mission, but we have more combat encounters. Yeah, that's probably why, Oreo. Might need to drop that a bit. Also, certain characters actually start with, items. Haru here starts with cigarettes. Mizuki starts with a random person. Kouji starts with a camera. And Mimi starts with the scalpel, which is a type of weapon. If I doing, let's do the curse, because the curse is the oh, Maverick votes for cult, so we'll go with cult. Kouji is the photographer. This over here is endless mode, which is I think just a flood of encounters until you die. And this is scenario mode, which is not in the game yet. We're just gonna stick with classic mode. Somewhere, a group of people gathers, trying to awaken their master. And now it's time to figure out what old god we're actually dealing with. Our options are... Still don't know how to say that. Katak Aturasu, I think? The terrible spider god is once again awakening from its slumber. Blinded by its impossible to satisfy hunger, it has started to tear down the walls of its cocoon prison. The debuff for this is that you can't run from combat, which I would not suggest when doing the cult background. We also have Itohu, the Devouring Fire. The supposed cause of destruction of the Library of Alexandria. A perfect black marble statue has been recently discovered and is currently waiting in the Museum of 000 for its long-awaited premiere. The combat stamina penalties are doubled, which I believe means both you and the enemy takes double damage? I'm not sure. We have At-Yolazith, the Towering Eye. The Mad God favors astronomers and magicians, granting them its power that unknowingly brings its bloated body closer and closer to Earth. In this case, we can cast spells by increasing Doom instead of burning Reason. Though I will say that that might not be the best option, but it is good in a pinch. And Goizo, the thing forsaken by God. Vanished to the other dimension a long time ago, Goizo has found a way to use mirrors to ensnare and teleport its prey straight through the glass. And the glimpses behind your reflections are just the beginning of a real nightmare. And in this case, when you rest, it increases the Doom penalty you get from resting. I think it's by 1%. So instead of getting 2% Doom whenever you rest, you get 3% Doom. So which one are we going for? Spider, the obelisk, the eyeball, or the weird mirror thing? I'm pretty indifferent to all of them, though I would rather not do the spider while on the cult background. I admittedly mostly run from combat because combat can be very tedious. Elizabeth? What say you, Oreo Pie? Eyeball it is. Missing stars. Media reports on the various people with seemingly supernatural skills. Could it have any connection with the news about the stars disappearing from the night sky? Old gods rule. Casting spells raises Doom instead of its normal cost. This is an optional thing, by the way. It is not, you no longer do the normal cost, you always raise Doom. You can choose which to pick. And backstory is hunted by the cult. This just means that we get different cards than we would get normally, which is basically just events. So here we are to start. I unlocked this city history thing, which I don't know what it does, but it's apparently bad. So I'm not really going to check it. So we start with a spell, apparently, which is Flesh Regrowth, which heals us for 3 stamina, but drops us by 2 max stamina, which is great. Also, see, I can cast it here, where it won't cost reason. Or I can cast it normally. You can also forget spells to get reason back. We are at our max of 21 for each. You can see our Doom down here. If Doom reaches 100%, we immediately lose, because the old god breaks out. Also, FND here is funds. That's the money we have. The rest are strength, dexterity, perception, knowledge, and charisma, which do what you probably think they do. So all we have is a camera. We're gonna go ahead and equip that. You thought what was endurance? Oh, FND? No, that's funds. Also, somebody apparently put a bunch of animal entrails in our mailbox, and something in that mailbox is trying to break out. What you can do in here is you can open up your door, which doesn't really do anything. You can open your blinds, which probably does a jump scare at some point, but it's not guaranteed. Poking our light switch doesn't do anything, which is curious. You can, between mysteries, you can take a bath, which lets you get reason, EXP, or stamina. We're gonna go ahead and grab the EXP because we're at max for the other two. You can change clothes. Every single character has their own outfit, though apparently I unlocked this. Looking good. Poke around a couple of things, not too many. So they'll wear this costume. It doesn't really do anything, it's mostly just customization. You can also look out your peephole. There's nothing here yet, but there are some small scares there. So we're going to start a new mystery because you have to do anything else. Basically, we pick 5 mysteries out of, I think there's a total 7, maybe 8. And we have to solve all 5. What it means by things you do in one mystery can affect later mysteries is you can find items in earlier mysteries that will allow you to unlock stuff in later mysteries. So you could get an item from doing a specific mystery that you can use in a later mystery, though not every single mystery is connected that way. Let's see what we have today. We have Sorrowful Saga of the Moonlight Sailors, which I have not done yet. Far Out Fable of a Fear Festival, which is something that I've gotten both of the endings to. Alarming Account of Abnormal Arms, which only has one ending. Well, thank you. Freaky Feature of Found Footage, which I've only gotten one ending on that. And Curious Case of Contagious Coma. Now, this one actually does connect to the Scissor Woman one, but as you can see, we did not actually get the Scissor Woman one, so what should we check out first? The Sailors, the Festival, the Arms, the Found Footage, or the Coma? As far as I'm aware, none of these have any real connection to each other, though they might, that I just don't know about. I will say for later, whatever one we do second, we need to remember what that specific one is. I can re-roll the seed. I can back out and re-roll the seed until we get the Scissor Woman mystery if you like. I don't mind. I don't really like doing it through the tutorial menu because it doesn't quite do it correctly. Okay. Actually really easy because I can just... Oh, I have to actually... I thought there was a way to quit. Oh, I can do it here. I can't use the save button. It says that I need to have one mystery for that. But I can do it that way. Also here, whenever you finish the game, one way or another, you can see the cause of death, your level, your difficulty, your equipment, your doom, how long you played, if you completed the mysteries, the events you saw. I don't know why it says we saw 8 new events, because we didn't see anything. I think that is minorly bugged. Hey, look at that! We got it! Last try and we got it. So we have spine-chilling story of school scissors, freaky feature of found footage, far-out fable of a fear festival, sorrowful saga of the Moonlight Sailors, and rotten report of rancid ramen. It does a pop scare with a slight scare chord. Do that? Let's see. So we can't actually unlock a thing in here because you need something from the arms mystery. We'll go ahead and start with this. First, I'm going to equip the camera. Spine-chilling story of school scissors. Another boy from your school has disappeared. Rumor has it a terrible woman has returned from the grave. A woman with the widest smile and the sharpest scissors. You and your friend was up. You knew your friend was up to something when he left you his notebook full of cryptic clues. I can send her back where she belongs, he claimed. And after he disappeared too, you decided to study the notebook for clues. Details a ritual that can stop the wicked woman once and for all. What's the worst that could happen? So to start, the very first thing you need to start with. Oh, your missing friend has left you a notebook. If the rumors are true, to stop the tall woman with scissors, you'll need to perform a ritual to force her material form to appear in our dimension. Accomplishing this requires first the drawing of an eldritch sigil and then the lighting of holy candles. You only hope your friend has left them somewhere around the school. The first thing you want to do is you want to go into your storage and you want to pick this up. Because this actually shows you what the sigil you need to draw is. And you guys better remember this because I'm going to ask you what to draw, and if you get it wrong, then that's on you. I'm only giving you this look at it. We can check out the school lockers. This is what we needed the arms one because you get the tiny key from the arms. We can open this and get a baseball bat, which is useful. You can also open this and get terrible things. Terrible, awful things. Let's leave. So let's start by exploring the school. We need to find the chalk and the bullet candles. Catch a glimpse of an art class. One disturbing painting draws your attention. And they can also require certain perks you can get, as well as certain injuries you can get. Take a peek, horrified. Knowledge check success. You gasp in pure horror. Twisted faces, impossible angles, and enormous monoliths make you sick. Yes, even passing can cause some damage. I feel like something horrible is happening within the school. You must hurry and find those items. Keep looking around. Suddenly, everything slows to a crawl. Meet the Time Warper. So here's the way enemies work. They have a certain amount of HP, which you reduce it all, you win. The damage they deal can be, I have seen, Reason, Stamina, and Doom. All, I believe, covers all three. Our Doom is at 2%, so if he hits us, we can check. And Power is basically, the higher the power, the harder it is to hit them, for some reason. I don't know why they call it Power. In this case, his power is only 10, so we don't have any lower chance to hit. You have a base chance of 70. So to start with, what we want to do is we want to dodge, because that gives us a high chance of avoiding his attack. And let's see, we cannot use a strong attack with a dodge. We don't have enough. Dexterity to make that possible. What we can do is we can use one attack boost and one normal attack, which gets us with a 199 of 200, because you can only have up to 200 points here. Launch the sequence. So we hit for 4, and he hits us. That does not raise Doom, so all is technically just Stamina and Reason. This is honestly basically the best way to do it, is to attack the way you can and then dodge. It doesn't always work, as you can see. Also, there's various things. You can kick, so attack without a weapon. Strong attack, which does some extra damage. Prepare your attack, which guarantees that the attack will hit. Shoot, which you need to have a firearm. You have a support actions. So Camouflage can blind the enemy, which drops the power. Improvised weapon gives you a random improvised weapon, which are pretty crappy. This is a distract the enemy, which requires you to have an ally. This lowers your experience by 5 and raises your chance to hit by 10%, so if you only like 90% away, you can use that and not have to prepare. This is the desperation attack, and it's basically a one-shot attack that you can use if you're about to die. You have defensive actions, which is dodge, brace for impact, which I haven't found a use for yet, but I'm sure there's something. Meditate, which, again, same reason, and then run away. The game does not have any chance to run away. If you try to run, you are just guaranteed to run. Or is your doom. And then you have spiritual actions that do something. I don't understand what this is for. I don't really get how that works. As you can probably guess, because the game is still fairly new, there's not much on this game. Also, it says it drastically lowers the enemy's chance to hit, but it never seems to drastically lower the enemy's chance to hit to me. It always seems to just slightly lower it. But we killed it. We got experience. Oh, we can peek outside. That work? I actually closed my eyes, so I don't know if that worked or not. I'm moving on anyway, whether it did or not. Yes, I'm a coward. I accept this. You enter the damp-smelling sport wing. You notice backpack drifting on a swimming board in the middle of the pool. Could it be what you're looking for? You enter the pool and start swimming towards the backpack. Suddenly the water turns murky and you realize you're not alone in the pool. A bloated figure emerges from the murky water, blocking your only way out of the pool. That's kind of weird. I didn't let go of the button. It actually closed on its own. I didn't let go until I heard the sound. So, apparently our teacher is something here. So his power lowers our chance to hit by 10%, and he does 2 stamina damage, which you can probably guess we don't really want to get hit by. It also doesn't really matter when you dodge. At least as far as I can tell, it's just completely luck-based whether you're actually going to hit or not. Or whether they will actually hit you or you will actually dodge it. And this time we actually got away without being hurt at all. Which is really good, because I don't like his thing. So we found the holy candles, or we found the blessed chalk. So what are we drawing here? You have to describe what you saw to me. Because I'm going to draw it based off what you tell me. I can cycle through it as many times as I want, as far as I'm aware. There's nothing that will actually stop me from doing so. Also, don't believe that it should be correct now. That's, not even remotely close. There is no circle. Like, the circle's default. Oh, upside down triangle inside, sorry. Scythe thingy going through. That? Is that what you think it is? Everybody agree? Because this is your only chance you get to draw it. If it's not not correct, then we don't get a chance to redraw it. Alright. Let's see if we can find the holy candles. You find an old trophy case set in a seemingly abandoned corridor. Everything inside is covered in a thick layer of dust. One metal seems particularly valuable. Let's check the plaques and trophies. Huh, it seems the person involved with the current case was a prize-winning swimmer. You got a successful luck check. Yeah, as you can see, luck is a hidden stat, like it is in most games. Sound of scissors is getting louder. Where are these candles? Impossible angles and seemingly moving lines make your head spin. A Kumi ally. I know who that ally is. I don't think I've seen them. Charisma check successful. How is this possible? And we lose one reason. Hey, we found the candles! Sweet! You lit them as instructed by the notebook. Everything is ready for the ritual. So let's perform it. Hello? Oh dear. Somebody's banging on the window to get in. Look who it is! You take a step back as a writhing amorphous mass slowly takes shape. Soon it becomes a tall, woman-like creature with 3 faces, all connected by a wide smile. Now is your chance to fight and defeat this horror. It is also your only chance. You got the sigil correct! She's only this clear if you get it correct, otherwise she would be unclear looking. So now I gotta fight her. Twisting and twitching, the demon woman enters the classroom, cackling menacingly. Am I beautiful? She now has 26 power. Which we're going to... Where is it? We're going to use the camera flash to help us out here. And we dodged her stab, which is good. I had to stab her. We missed, and she did not miss us this time. Ow. We actually dodged for once, holy crap! We missed, but she also missed, which is good. We can only hold out as long as she can't stab us. Like that. Ow. Ow. Again. We've got her this time. Dead! We are also very... not looking good there. Ancient horror lies dead on the classroom floor, slowly dissolving into nothingness. You find your friend, gravely wounded but alive. You help him and you limp away from the school as the police sirens get louder. That's ending A. Ending B is if you fail to get the ritual correctly. Believe it or not, ending B is actually better if you want a good weapon. This woman is gone for good. Or is it? You shudder, knowing the urban legend will inspire another kid, another city to try and summon the Eldritch Being. So we get 30 EXP. There's also a 15 EXP bonus for complete research, which I think that's if you do a side quest they give you, but you don't get a side quest for that, so you don't get that chance here. You drop by 4 doom, so we're back down to 1%. You get +1 stamina and reason, which is helpful. Also, time passes 1 day, which that doesn't really do anything right now. Yeah, she has a unique death. I think technically every ending boss has a unique death. I don't know for sure, but she definitely does. So every time we beat a mystery, the old god causes an effect to happen. This time we got the fetid fumes effect, which makes the rest action less effective, which just means we get less back when we rest. Inside the mailbox we find a key, which goes up here. Just to let you know, all these 5 keys go to the lighthouse. If you go to the lighthouse before you get all 5, you can't do anything at all, which is why I haven't bothered. Also, these used to be in the basic inventory where you could only hold 4 items total. Then the developer realized, wait, that's stupid, and he made their own little spot. Let's see. I'm gonna go with reason for now. That really did a number on our stats, though. Especially for Hawaii, that'll make us feel better. I saw that. I saw that. What's TV say? Look Local police are helpless as more and more victims with their throats slashed up turn in the downtown area. That's fine if you need to go to sleep. I'll send you the link to the video a little later. Yeah, I don't think... Yeah, sure. Also, I think the light switch is a way you can scare yourself a little later. Yeah, sleep well. Let's see. What should we check out next? This is the one we have to remember we did, because later in the game it will ask us what quest we did second, what mystery we did second. So what do you want to see? Freaky feature of found footage, Power Fable of a Fear Festival, Sorrowful Saga of the Moonlight Sailors, or Rotten Report of a Rancid Ramen. I'd personally vote for this one because it's actually quite easy to do and doesn't have any combat encounters. Moonlight Sailors works. I've actually never done this one. As you can see from the fact that I haven't gotten either ending, so this should be interesting. It began with one fisherman, who dragged something truly awful from the belly of the ocean. A dark, writhing ooze that mesmerized him beyond control. He hid himself away for a week, adoring it. Not to be seen until one moonlit night when a young girl spotted his boat drifting away. A single lantern swinging at the helm and the captivated fisherman singing eerily to his catch. And this is the same thing for some reason, it plays itself twice. So the way normal mysteries work, the School Scissors one is a unique mystery. Well, there's a couple of mysteries that work like that, but mostly they will give you a place you need to investigate. Sorry, we're gonna go talk to a dog. Because this dog is selling stuff. Not selling anything I need right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and buy a random discount item. Which is a blue gem. Okay. I'm sure that's fine. We need to discard 2 item cards, so I'm gonna go ahead and... I was going to grab a couple more, but the dog keeps giving us blue gems. I'm going to grab this instead, because we need this. I'll see your doom goes up every time you go into the store. Doggy gave us 3 blue gems! I can't discard that, doggy! Why would you do that? We're going to go ahead and equip the flashlight, because there are things that require you to have the flashlight equipped. The camera will not do, so... I guess we're not getting the hooks and nets side quest. Let's start with investigating downtown. You start your investigation hoping to overhear some rumors at the fish market. Experts are baffled by the sudden appearance of 20 stone statues lined up in a row in the middle of blank park. You can cast 1 spell without paying anything. This is actually completely useless to us. Just gonna forget it instead to get the reason back. Sadly, we did not have a heal spell. Although you braved the stench for hours, you gleaned nothing besides the fact the fisherman had a wife. Perhaps you should pay her a visit. Dark forces scheme against you. You don't know who you can trust anymore, and we have a curse now. Oh no. Cursed signs. Casting spell raises doom. Charred skin forms weird signs. It's actually on our portrait over here. That's not great! When you arrive at the fisherman's house, it stands long vacated. Peering into the dusty window, you recoil in shock. You stand in an old rundown mansion room that stinks like spoiled milk. The room has only 2 doors, one of which you came through. You can't see the strange man you've been following anywhere. Take a look around. There's nothing really important here, but you think you might be able to use the one item you do find. I found a flashlight! Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna discard this in the camera. having an item actually in your inventory doesn't help you most of the time. For things like the flashlight or the camera, you have to have it equipped, so... You find a huge pile of nets and hooks prepared for the big hunt. You quickly throw them into the ocean. Maybe that'll stop them from sailing out. I believe that's what you need to do to get the good ending, but I'm not sure. Anyways, the fisherman's wife lies in the kitchen, mutilated and covered with black marks. Oof, that's scary. In the mirror, you catch a glimpse of something that shouldn't be there. So is that, good lord. Surely someone else must have caught one of these. You look around hoping to spot one of them. People point and talk about a man on the other side of the street. He looks confused, muttering to himself while occasionally touching a festering wound on his cheek. You stop in your tracks and listen to the man's cursed incantation. What do we get? Deals damage to an enemy, which increases the lower your stamina is. We're not gonna be using that. So we'll take some of the reason back, thanks. The young man has glassy eyes and mumbles his replies between caressing his catch. The beating movements in his arms disturb you. Also, the hardware store is where you go to get weapons, but we're broke because the dog was rude, so... There's rumor about strange lights appearing in the sky around the lighthouse. However, after spending the night, you don't see anything unusual. After a slow interrogation, the young man manages to stutter out something about an organized fishing trip. Okay. The waves lazily wash on the shore. You take a deep breath. The fresh sea air clears your head. Breath is what you take. Also, this is the sign that you are about to hit the final section of the mystery when it gets all bloody and everything else vanishes. You slip out at night and race towards the beach, terrified of what comes next. Investigate the beach. The full moon shines bright in the cloudless night sky. The ink-black ocean waves glimmer eerily. All the residents have drawn their shutters tight and locked their doors. Your footsteps are silent in the sand. The only sounds are your ragged breathing and pounding heartbeat. You arrive at the water's edge, breathless. The possessed fishermen's boats fill the horizon with their light. Tiny yellow spots navigating a dark ocean under a dark sky. You cannot make out the figures on board. It's not the sailors. The black beings must have left their bodies. Shocked, you watch them sail their way out of the harbor. You are terrified at their power, but relieved that they did not drag their meat puppets with them. The black beings never returned, yet mothers would not let their children play on the beach. Over time, people forgot the last time they saw a boat out on the waves, although some claim they see strange beings come into the port at night. And this is the good ending, ending A. We get the usual: knowledge is key, there's still hope, tireless, and time passes. Though apparently I didn't get the full exploration one, which I don't really know what you get that for. Also, if you got it by ending B, you would get another effect for the town. So what's the effect we got this time? Store closed. The friendly dog disappeared last night. You will have to find a new place to buy equipment. Well, the old god ate the dog. That's a shame. Let's see about our EXP. Maybe it's a good thing Oreo went to bed. They wouldn't have wanted to see old god eat the poor shib. So we have Reporter's Back, which gives us 1 additional inventory slot. Folklore Studies, which gives us +1 knowledge and can come up as a needed trait. And Quick Thinking, which gives us 1 dexterity and also comes up as a needed trait. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one. And I'm also going to go ahead and take Dexterity. You can get 5-ish stamina and reason if you do that, though it doesn't quite work correctly. But right now we're still sort of okay. So we're just going to raise our dex to make fighting a bit easier. We got another key in the mailbox, this time key D. We're going to take a bath and raise our stamina back up a bit more. This time we'll... The bloody sweater. Yeah, let's wear the bloody sweater. Clearly that's the best idea. The next mystery, I'm gonna go ahead and just pick the ramen one. Also, you can see like a bunch of little squiggles they add when you finish the mystery. I don't think it means anything. But we're gonna go ahead and handle the ramen one since I know how to do this. It's quite simple. Rotten report of a rancid ramen. Out of thin air, a brand new ramen restaurant opens in town. It's adored by everyone. Once people take a bite, they can't stop. Day and night, the queues stretch out the door. The shambling customers stuffing themselves dish after dish, while the blind owner sits silently behind the counter, grinning and polishing his gleaming knives. You are determined to discover what makes this ramen so enticing. What is its true power? Dog meat? Human meat? Flesh of the gods themselves? Watching the local news, you spot a familiar street. It's a feature about the newest ramen shop. The food critic has a manic look as he describes the ramen. His description makes your stomach churn. We also would need to discard 2 cards for this, which is not good, because we physically cannot do that. Not unless we can pick up random cards during our investigation. You barely dodge a knife swing and fall to the ground. The short-haired woman giggles and takes a step back. You can run from us, but you won't hide, friend. Cultist Hunter A. Oh lord, she is not a nice-looking lady. You can see that our time needed to do stuff has now gone down a bit. Because, we raised our dexterity. We need 80, which means we can hit that 3 times to guarantee a hit. Along with dodge. I would like to get a better weapon, but I don't think that's going to happen. Oof. Maybe if we can dig up some funds, we can do it. It's a good thing I did all of that stamina regain, isn't it? Die! And that's just it. The cultist attackers don't really have much to do. You can see the restaurant through the staircase's window. You watch the door for hours but never see any of the cooks enter nor leave. Well, that's creepy. While looking around the ransacked room of your recently deceased friend, you discover a half-finished painting of a woman, her skin a ghastly pale yellow color. The scene is disturbing, you struggle to look at it. Charisma check failure. Intimidated by the unsettling painting, you're haunted by nightmares. The only true way to get to investigate it is to get to the restaurant yourself. When you stop by to pick up your lunch, you find a pile of letters in your mailbox. Ooh, letters! Let's read it. Luck check. Success! Sweet! It seems that you won a small amount of money in the lottery. Lucky you! Hey, we can actually buy something at the hardware store. Can of acid, which is 2 funds. Crowbar, which is out of our price range. Trinket, which is... eh. Good effect, but only happen. You can only use it once, I think. And this, which is also not anything we can afford. Should we pick up the can of acid, or should we restock and see if we can get anything else? Or should we just go screw it and keep our wooden bat? There's a dog image up there, even though we're not in the dog shop. Our doom is at 29, and we're on the 3rd mission, which is very easy. So we have 70 doom to complete 2 missions, basically. So we can definitely afford it. Right. Double again, we get the carpenter hammer, which actually is something that we can afford. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. It's got a lower chance to hit, but that doesn't really matter because of the prep we can do. The more important thing is it's faster, it does more damage, which is going to help us out most. That is a card we can now discard, but I'm not going to do anything with that just yet. I'm gonna wait and see if we can get a second card because we can't discard the blue gems. Something is wrong. You don't see anyone on the street and you could have sworn it was crowded just a minute ago. You better hurry out of here. The smell around the restaurant is overpowering. Grease, rot, and... Is that blood you can smell? You're pleasantly surprised to meet your old friend while waiting for a train. She's undoubtedly changed a lot since you've last seen her. These days, she's monitoring a web forum dedicated to the paranormal. Maybe she knows something useful? Let's just have a chat with our friend. Charisma check, success. In between conspiracy theories and Bigfoot sightings, you hear a worrying rumor about an old god slowly awakening to rule the earth once again. Could this be the reason for recent horrific events? And we lost... Speaking of reason, we lost one. It's finally your turn to order. One ramen, please. The owner's grin widens. Suddenly, a window behind you breaks with a bang. Startled, you notice a masked man, hunting rifle in his hands. Silent and calm, the man loads another bullet in. Holy crap, that's stamina damage! I'm thinking discretion is the better part of valor right now, and we need to get the heck out of here. I'm not willing to tangle with a man with a hunting rifle when I just have a carpenter's hammer. Red Bull's pushing your face. It's so crowded that you're forced to sit on the floor. A sudden growl coming from behind a corner makes you stop. Hello? Oh dear. You don't look nice. 84. Ooh, we do not have really any chance to hit. Let's try. That'd be 84, which would leave us with 20. We can do this. How did Ghoul get in without anybody noticing? It is incredibly crowded in here. Go away! With a slick hand, you fill a vial with the soup and walk out without tasting the weird dish. With the pulling of some delicate strings, you get the ramen into a lab. While handing over the gathered material, you hesitate. What should you send to the lab? So that we do not have the second option because we weren't able to finish the side quest, so just in the vial. A mere day later, your friend rings your door. Her face is pale and in a shaky hand she holds an analysis sheet. You usher her in and bolt the door. You feel ill looking at the charts. While they couldn't identify some of the particles, they did discover a highly addictive drug in the broth. The ramen restaurant must be closed immediately. A few weeks later, police and an official stand where the ramen restaurant used to be. Nothing remains but a gap in the street and aimless, confused customers. You'd like to believe that was the end of it, but snippets in other newspapers from other cities unsettle you. Brief articles about an exciting new ramen restaurant opening up and its mysterious owner keep showing up. You can no longer eat noodles without feeling ill. And we got ending B, which gave us much needed slight heal. So what's the old god's effect this time? Cut off from outside world. The whole town stopped receiving any outside signal. It must be the radio mast failure. Oof. Take another key. Outside? I still see you there! You didn't stop that. You need a bath. You need a stamina bath. Badly. Maybe our portal clothes will protect us better. Let's check out... What next? Freaky feature of found footage? Or far out fable of a fear festival? Found footage. Freaky feature of found footage. 3 students disappeared in the process of making a documentary about local folklore and legends of the nearby forest. Now, on the first anniversary of the event, a suspicious man has started asking questions. He claims to be a private investigator hired by the parents of the students. Except the parents of your friends didn't hire him. Who is he, and what did the students discover out there? Investigate the mansion location twice to complete this quest. 3 students disappeared in the process of making a documentary about the local folklore. Maybe you'll find a clue about their last known whereabouts in the school news newspaper. Let's take a look in the school. As you enter the school gym, you notice a strange black doll propped up against the wall. Needs anatomy class perk. Against your better judgment, you approach the doll. What you see makes you gasp in horror. The doll isn't a doll. Your sudden movement causes tiny black spiders to flee, revealing a white, half-eaten corpse. The notes mention a village not far from your town. You decide to take a bus. Getting closer, you can't help but take notice of a large number of trees that have suddenly died. What happened here? Oh, investigate the mansion twice to get the witch story first. Looks like one of the previous owners of the mansion liked to read. Dusty tomes reach the ceiling. You don't have much time, but maybe you could spare some to look through the books. Let's check the table. Knowledge check, success. The notes lying on the table look like the ramblings of a madman, but you can see a method in their madness. You feel watched. Ooh, we don't have the holy candle. Great! You retreat from the room. Legends say the witch was buried alive for kidnapping and murdering 2 children. It points you in a specific direction, potentially saving you some time. It means that it skips a couple of the roundabout events, I'm not sure. Also, look at poor Kouji! Walking through the park, you find a little girl crying alone in the playground. When you ask what's wrong, she says that she can't find her mommy. Luckily, you spot the girl's address on a backpack lying nearby. Let's go ahead and take her home. You offer to take her home. When you get there, the terrified mother slams the door in your face. From behind the door, she starts screaming to get the girl away. The little girl calmly tells you that she can take it from here. I'm a little worried about that. What have we got? Art knowledge, which is perception. And I think we already passed the trigger for. Improvise, throwing items or combat cards more effective. Quarters bag. Yeah, we still got plenty of time. I'm gonna reroll the perks. Leadership. +1 charisma, natural ability to guide others. I'm gonna go with that, and I'm gonna go with getting some stamina back. So yeah, look, it says it's +5 stamina, and it shows that we have 7, but it only goes up to 9. I don't really understand what quite is going on with there. I don't know if this is just a graphical glitch or whatever. Hopefully they'll have it fixed next patch. Everyone in the village is unsettlingly friendly. An old farmer points you to an old stone. The missing group supposedly started their forest trip there. No, we saw, and it didn't quite give the full amount either. An old man stops you and invites you into his house. You follow reluctantly, only to be amazed by the number of dusty old sorcery books inside. I can teach you a thing or two about magic, he says. Don't worry about payment. I'm sure we'll work it out in the future. Accept, decline, let a random park ranger we apparently have following us talk to the man. What do you guys think? Should we try to learn some creepy stuff? See, the thing is, I don't know if we actually gained all 5 stamina, and it just shows 9, or if we only gained 2. We'll know for sure when we next take a hit and see. Accept. Luck check failure. It was a complete waste of time. The senile old man was a bore and had nothing interesting to tell you. Oh yeah, since we did the witch story, we, 3 of the squares got blocked out. Now we just need to explore. Looking back one time, you continue deeper into the woods. Following a trail of rotten fruit, you stumble upon a small forest shrine. It's probably dedicated to some local spirit. The small shrine looks alien and menacing. You know what, let's not make it upset. Let's pray. Perception check success. Kneeling by the shrine, you discover a small piece of paper tucked behind the statue. The rumored witch house seems empty. In the basement, however, you find a camera pointed at the large hole in the ground. On the table next to the camera, you see 3 cassettes, each titled after one of the missing friends. Then you hear a curious sound coming from the hole. So, should we look at the hole, or should we just grab the cassettes and get the heck out of here? I am personally one for grabbing the cassettes and getting the heck out of here. Just because there's a blood trail up to that hole, and I don't know that I want to look down in there. Grab and run! Not being able to deal with it, you decide to grab the tapes and run. You wander aimlessly through the woods for a few hours until you're found by a search party. You lead them to the house, but the door to the basement is missing. The forest is restless. Knowledge is key, plus 30, thorough investigation, plus 15, minus 4 doom, plus 1 reason and stamina. We got the forest tapes. Seemingly broken, but maybe you can find a way to repair them. Who could actually repair tapes? So what do we got this time? Roads closed. Roads leading out of town were closed by the police. You'll have to find a new way out. I thought that eye thing would have popped up here on the status, but I guess not. We can go ahead and pawn off that. I wonder if we can find someone who can actually repair those tapes. One more key. Our neighbor's still being creepy at us. We're gonna get another bath. Everything's just fine. The city looks half erased, but I'm sure it's okay. It's time for the final mystery. Far Out Fable of a Fear Festival. Your aunt had sent you a letter inviting you for a curious-sounding festival. It's held every 27 years in a small village. You don't like the sound of it, but your parents both agree you need a break from all the stress. Inside the letter, there's a bus ticket. What's the worst thing that could happen? You asked yourself as you board the bus. Oh, that was what happened. The ghost gray mist enwrapped the whole town. I missed that. When you thought your stomach couldn't handle it anymore, the jerky old bus stops at its destination. You get up and take a deep breath before looking around. It's a small village, and the nearby fields are surrounded by a thick forest. Someone is waiting for you? A fat man wearing dusty overalls approaches you. It's the inn owner who promised to pick you up. Following close behind him, your eyes are drawn to his hands, which are so deformed they resemble claws more than hands. Oh, creepy. Let's... Can I access my storage? The inn's room is dusty like it hasn't seen visitors in years. You wonder if anyone has cleaned it since the last festival 27 years ago. There's a folder of available actions lying on the table. I'll close the storage room. To the onsen, because that'll give us some stamina back, which we really, really need. Enjoy the festival. Explore the weird village. Let's do that. Hilltop Shrine. Trail to an abandoned Shinto shrine is overgrown and steep. However, it could be an important place to investigate. Take the safe route. Taking the safe route costs you time, but you get to the top without incident. Burnt out candle wax and dried blood around the shrine mean a new, sinister cult has claimed their location. Let's check out the village while the festival is going on, because I am suspicious. Stumbled upon a forgotten bookstore in a small alley. The small interior is cluttered with dusty old tomes, animal bones, weird vials, and stuffed exotic animals you don't even recognize. Can I help you? Asked the tiny man behind the counter. I have things that will surely help you in your quest. Yeah, you do, but we don't have the money for that, so we need to just leave. Take your time and see you soon. Today's goal: learn more about the festival itself. A weird sound wakes you up. You step closer to the window and look out. You can't see anything and get ready to go back to bed when suddenly the moon comes from behind the thick clouds. 3 hooded figures are standing at the forest's edge. One by one, they light their torches and disappear behind the trees. What was that about? Who are they? They all wore strange masks. Did you follow them to the forest or try to find more information about the festival? That's a good question. Let's check out the forest first. It says that a famous priest died on this rock. Perhaps his mysticism has seeped into it. Happened to his power. Knowledge check. Success. Touching it with your hand, you feel a newfound knowledge forming in your mind. Gave us... third eye. +1 knowledge and perception until the end of the mystery. If you're doing, we can cast it without... Oh, it isn't an option. This is just telling you. We cast that, go up to 56. So it's 5 doom per spell. That's not too bad. Keep going into the forest. Dripping tree branches hang over the path, framing it in an almost macabre way. It's almost inspiring? Come on, Kouji, get a grip. You quicken your pace and leave the menacing path. Or the village. An old priest is performing a ritual to appease a local demon imprisoned underground. You're invited to join them. Sure! Why not? Knowledge check failure. Directed by a huge man wearing a demon mask, you have trouble following the intricate patterns of step, bows, and claps. The ritual is a disaster. Today's goal. No idea. Going back, you overhear 2 masked villagers. They're talking about something awakening up at the next dawn. Wonder what's up with that. Not safe here. Decide to block the entrance to your room with a nightstand. The festival's ending tomorrow and you can't be too careful. Villagers seem to follow your every step here. I gotta look around the village. Following a weird gargling sound, you enter an alley. Sitting in the shadow, you notice a person wearing a policeman's uniform. Oh no. You've made a horrible mistake. Shimokage? We're gonna leave. Goodbye. Do not want... Weird sounds coming from the forest kept you up at night. What could it all mean? You're feeling you're being watched. When you hear a branch snapping, you quickly turn around. There is someone sitting in the trees just a few meters away. Do I have a park ranger with me? Let's just confront the person. That'll work. Knowledge check failure. The decomposing skin and vacant stare can only mean one thing. It's a corpse someone has propped up. The idea that someone could do it so close to you and so quietly makes you shudder. Why is it so quiet all of a sudden? Is that blood? Where is everybody? Did it? It looked like it said knowledge to me, but I guess I massively misread it. Also, the festival just ended with blood everywhere. So that was a thing. Today's goal, find the missing people. Trails of blood and sickly smelling sludge leads to an outskirt of the village. Somewhere in the dark forest, there's an answer waiting for you. Camp? Stick camp? Okay, we're not gonna risk anymore. For the forest! Despite your best efforts, you feel like the neighborhood is starting to change. Location's threat level increases. One last chance, are we gonna get lucky? No, we're not. What you thought was just a discarded pile of clothes suddenly moves. As it stands up, a cloud of white powder is released into the air. Meet this thing. Whatever this thing is. You know what? I don't want to fight you either. Let's just get out of here. And we ran out of time. Sunrise in our overgrown factory. The sun is slowly rising as you get closer to an abandoned industrial building. Cautiously entering the factory, you can't help but notice the forest got totally silent. Too late. You were not the only one trying to stop the ritual and save your friends. Special forces have raided the occult hideout, arresting the suspects. Let outside, the handcuffed cult leader suddenly stops. You are too late, they say in a raspy voice. Our lord is free once more! And that's ending B. Yeah, it seems like stamina is bugged and it only gives you 2 or so. Later that day, after interrogation, detectives let you go free. Festival guests are still missing to this day. You board the old bus wondering what exactly happened out there. Rewards for solving this mystery. Ritual, the being wants more. I want to know what these are, because they don't seem to show up anywhere. I'm not sure what they actually do. Knowledge is key, there's still hope, and time passes. Also, they might not do anything yet, for all I know. Winds of Plague. A weird epidemic keeps staff at the hospital busy. Skipping the line will cost you more. And that is the final key that we need. So we're gonna go ahead and raise our stamina because I feel like we're gonna need that more than reason. Still everything fine. Let's go dressed in leather. Last peek. And that same creepy neighbor is still being creepy. We got level to gain. Production. Extra EXP. That's a useless thing to get. 5. Do 1 refresh. Fast hands. Art knowledge and leadership. None of these looks like they're going to be particularly useful. Which is massively unfortunate, so... let's just get strength and see if that helps us out. Because it is time to go to the lighthouse. Also, you can hear the music is massively slowed down here, which is very creepy. This is why coming here before is pointless. You need the keys. So, padlock A, padlock B, padlock C, D, and E. And now we can enter. You finally made it inside the cursed lighthouse. Your gut is telling you 2 things. That whoever, or whatever, is behind the weird events must be on the highest floor of this place, and that you should run as far as you can. You're afraid there won't be a way back once you start climbing these stairs. What we're going to do is we're going to rest a bit to get 1 back each, because we're up to 80 doom, and that's going to be enough for this. Let's start climbing. Following the winding staircase, you're stopped by darkness. A thick black cloud is obscuring your vision, and you can swear something is waiting for you inside of it. This is why we have the flashlight. The light source seems to somehow repel the darkness, and you continue to climb the staircase safe. Next. Following the winding staircase, you find a metal gate that blocks your way. A cable that should be powering it is currently disconnected. The power box itself is covered in a weird, moist goo. Just inhaling the fumes make your eyes itch and water, but to power the gate you'll need to disconnect a faulty plug. Strength check success! Weird goo burns your fingers, but you quickly manage to separate the faulty plug and connect the proper cable. With a buzz, the gate opens. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped. Wait a minute. Someone broke into your apartment, stole all the clues and newspaper clippings, and pinned them here. The more you study them, you discover you can't remember any of them except one. Select the title of mystery you investigated as the second one. So which one do we investigate as the second one? I'm actually pretty sure I know which one it is, because I think I remember it. But do you remember it? Moonlight Sailors? Think it was that? Let's find out. You were correct. You have the newspaper of the clipping of a case you seem to remember. Underneath it is a tiny button. Press it, and with a buzz, the gate opens. Following the winding staircase, you are stopped by a metal gate. The tiny page nailed to the gate explains that opening the gate will require you to grab 2 metal rods. Using your own body as a natural conductor, you will power up the gate. Knowledge check. Passed! You're about to grab the rods when you notice the dials and buttons. You toy with them before adjusting both voltage and current, so it's safe for you to grab them. With a buzz, the gate opens. Haha, we have beaten you. Following the winding staircase, you find a metal gate that blocks your way. It's locked, but you notice an electrical cable. It seems to connect the door to a hole inside the central pillar. If there's a switch inside, you'll have to risk getting cut by the numerous glass shards and knives. Will we? Yes, we will, because we don't have even enough dexterity. You feel the sharp glass ripping your flesh as you search for the switch. Finally, you grab a cable and follow it with your bleeding fingers until you find the button. The buzz, the gate opens. Dark clouds swirl above the lighthouse. Did you arrive too late? Make it explode! Somehow. As the unnatural fog slowly lifts, you are relieved and collapse on the floor. The next day, everything feels like a bad dream. You've managed to stop the ritual awakening, the eldritch old god, but what's done is done. It will stir in its slumber again and again until the stars are right again. Congratulations! You are safe. For now. We survived! Woohoo! We managed to solve 5 mysteries, we saw 9 new events, encountered 2 new enemies, unlocked 3 new achievements, huh? And that's the end. That's what happens when you win. Let's go ahead and check out those achievements, because I'm curious. For sure. No, that's not unlocked. Ah, here's one that I unlocked. Meet a school wraith haunting the corridor. Unlock Sea of Ramal spell. World save when your 3rd playthrough. Or your 4th playthrough here. This is one I got. Doom. Ah, also Shinokawa History 1 and 2, I guess. Unlock City History option, which I don't know what it does. It seems to remove the options that you pick. I don't really get it. And we now have an occult shop unlocked. None of these other things work yet, so... That's World of Doom. Or World of Doom, World of Horror. I really like it, and I'm really looking forward to the next update, because the next update is apparently going to introduce something that the game currently teases the heck out of. So hopefully that will come out soon.